Well, students, good evening to all of you. So today we are going to discuss our next exam preparation class of paper fourth, right, guys? And guys, you know that there are two, sections of paper fourth. It is paper fourth A, language across curriculum, and the paper fourth B, understanding discipline and subject. Okay, both paper of Kurukshetra University you have to give on the same day. Okay, the duration is total duration is 3 hours. Okay, the duration of a first paper fourth A is 1.5 hours, and the duration of second paper is again 1.5 hours, right? So you would be given by the 3 hours by the university. Sometimes both paper would be given to you beforehand, or otherwise they will give first you the fourth A paper, then after 1.5 hours they will give you the fourth B paper, but you have to prepare for both. Okay. Now next, guys, this is our exam preparation class. What we are doing in our exam preparation class, we are basically discussing the whole syllabus and mostly last year paper. Okay, guys, so this is the last year paper, language across curriculum, right? And I have sold the paper for you, fourth A and fourth B. Guys, side by side I open the paper, I open the sold paper, right, guys, so that we'll discuss the whole syllabus, last year paper. Okay, so this is your sold paper of Word file, right, guys? So first we see in the paper, so this is your last year paper, language across curriculum. The first questions came. Okay, first see the structure. Okay, means how the questions would come and how many sections would come. Okay, see the section first, right, guys? This is the compulsory section, guys. Okay, there are two questions in the compulsory section, guys. Okay, why are two? Because it is a 1.5 hour paper. It is a paper of the 40 marks. Okay, earlier paper 1, childhood and growing up, you have given. Second paper, contemporary India and educations, you have given. Third paper, learning and teaching, you have given. All the three paper was of 80 marks. Okay, now this is a paper fourth A of 40 marks, next fourth B of 40 marks. So in a 40 marks paper, okay, two sections would come and one compulsory sections would come. This is the one compulsory section. There would be two questions. Okay, you can note on your notebook. Okay, if you want. Okay, there would be two questions. These are the compulsory. When you give the answer of these two questions, then it would be considered as a one question, right, guys? So it is for 8 marks, right? Again, you can see there is a unit 1, there would be two questions, right? And in the unit 2, there would be two questions. So total, now it has finished, right? Total in fourth A, 5 questions would come, and in the fourth B paper, 5 questions would come. Okay, and as you know that in this year 2022 session, university has given you the option, you can do out of a 9 paper, when it was a 80 marks paper, out of a 9 paper you are supposed to do the 5 questions, right? Up now what you can do, this paper is coming in the part, fourth A and fourth B. So 5 questions would come. So how many questions you have to do? You have to do the 3 questions of your choice, right? Means in a simple sense, in a simple word, 5 questions would come. You have to attempt the 3 questions of your choice, right, guys? Means earlier, in a section unit 1, this is a last year paper. So what was the instruction of the last year? Every student has to do, 1 questions out of a 2 question. Okay, in a unit 1, and unit 2, out of a 2 questions, the candidate had to 1 questions. Okay, had to attempt 1 question. But in this year, guys, what you can do? In this year, even in a unit 1, you can attempt the both question, second and third. Okay, if you want, or even you can attempt, 2 questions from the unit 2. Means जैसे भी मतलब you can do according to yourself, okay, but in total there would be 3 questions you have to attempt, okay. And the section, this is a compulsory section, okay, you have to attempt both the 2 question, then it includes the as a one question, okay. So unit 1, so I will suggest you 8 or 816. Okay, I will suggest you what you can do. Okay, you can attempt the compulsory one. Okay, guys. Okay, one compulsory one you have done, right? And 2 questions you have to attempt. Either you can select from the unit 1 both the 2 questions. Either you can select from unit 2 both the 2 questions, or 1 question from unit 1, 1 question from unit 2, right? The long question is of 16 marks of unit 1, 16, and second question is a 16 and 16, 32, and these both questions are 4 marks, 8, 32 plus 8, 40, right? I think you have come to know about, okay, how you have to attempt. Total basically 3 questions you have to do, okay. 1 questions you can do from the compulsory section, okay, it is regarded as a 1 question. And again, in a unit 1, you can attempt 1 questions or both questions you can attempt, okay, right? Or in a unit 2, you can attempt 1 or both questions you can attempt, okay. But once you finish, you have to see 3 questions should be attempted, right, guys? So let's, guys, we discussed the questions last year paper. So this is a language across curriculum, right? The question has come in the compulsory section. There are 2 simple question has come. One is functions of language, okay, and second is language a medium of communications, okay. So I side by side I open my Word file. I have solved this last year paper for you, okay. I have already given you the notes also, but after the class I will share this file with you, right, guys? So this is your solved question paper of last year. First we will discuss the language, a medium of communications, okay. A language, a medium of communications, okay. Just see in this, first we'll talk about the language, a medium of communication, then we will discuss the functions of language, okay. So what is a language? In a language, what you have to do, this is a simple one, I have described many times. Language, it is a mode of a communication. You convey your thoughts, your ideas with the other person. So basically language is a medium of a communications, okay. If you can remember, guys, you can give a one definition of Henry Sweet, if you can remember. Otherwise in a running you have to write, okay. Henry Sweet has said that language is the expression of ideas by means of speech sound combined into words. Words are combined into sentences. This combination answering to that of ideas into thoughts, okay. Because, guys, it is our exam preparation class, okay. So in our exam preparation class, we are discussing all the strategies, how we have to attempt the paper, okay. So all the techniques, time management, each and everything, okay. So here I just want to tell you, if you have to write the definition, so guys, my request is that you have to write the whole definition, okay. If you're going to write the Henry Sweet definition, you have to write the whole definition. You don't have to miss any of the word. If you miss any of the word, then do not try to mention the name in front of the definition, okay. So write in the running orders, okay, what the language is expression of the ideas, right? From that way you can explain, okay. So in a broader sense, we can say that language may be said to be any means of expression or mental concepts by any living being whatsoever, and of communicating them or receiving them from other living being, right? So basically the question is a language, a medium of a communications. You have to define, language is a mode of a communications by which we can share our ideas, our thoughts to the other person, right, guys? So it is a general question has come. Okay. Even I have made a note of a small note of a importance of a language. Okay. So you can define the importance of a language, right? Under these questions, language a medium of a communication, right? And last, make conclusion, right? I have already told you in every questions, either it is a long questions or short questions, you have to write the conclusion, okay, in every questions, in the end of every answer. Okay. So in conclusion, what you have to write in the conclusion, whatever you have defined above. So in conclusion, we can say that it is the one of the most important characteristics of a human behavior. It is a means of a verbal medium for expressions or communicating ideas, feelings, experiences, and it is a unique possession that is given by God to man. It consists of words, idioms, and sentences. It is through language we learn to think, feel, express ourselves. So language has great importance for us, and it is necessary to understand its meaning. Right, guys? So this is your short answer. Okay. The second is the functions of language. Hai na? Just see it. This is your last year paper, language across curriculum. Okay, we are discussing the compulsory section. One question we have discussed language, a medium of communication. Second, we are going to discuss functions of language. Okay. So guys, what is the functions of a language? First of all, communication. Communication is a function of a language, right? But under the topic of functions of a language, what you have to do, you have to define the primary function and the secondary functions. Okay. Suppose this questions comes, for example, if it repeats, what are the functions of the language? What you have to do, little bit you have to write about the language. What is the language? Just we have discussed. Then basically, mainly you have to give emphasis on the functions of language. It is asked by the examiner. So under the functions of a language, you have to bifurcate it in the two part. One is primary function and secondary function, right? So under the primary function, what you have to write? Okay, you can see the primary functions of the language is expression. Basically, yahi hai na? What is the meaning of a language? To express ourselves. Okay, and remember, all the other function comes from the expression, right? The primary functions of a language is expression. It is only through language that one is able to express one's idea, feelings, and thoughts. All other functions of language are based on expressive function. There are three ways to express oneself with the help of the language. Okay, how we can express? We can express ourselves: oral, written, symbolic, right? Then you have to make the heading of a secondary function, right? In a secondary functions, you have to write the functions of the language, instructional function, right? It happens now. Teacher give the instruction to the student, boss give the instructions to the employee. So language is the function of a language is giving the instruction, right? Communicative function, second is under the secondary functions. Communicative, you know that, huh? We are just discussed. We have just discussed. Third is information function. Whatever we have to get any of the information, we have to pass to the another person. We take the help of the language, right? Fourth is the expressive function. You know that, we just discussed. Directive function. Fifth is direction. Suppose the teacher has to give to the directions to the students, and the sixth is the preservation function. Guys, language preserves your ideas and thoughts also in the form of the language. Today we know that about the Jesus. Today we know about the Guru Nanak Sahib, Muhammad Sahib. Guru Nanak Sahib came 500 years back. Muhammad Sahib came 1400 years back. Jesus came 2000 years back. So how we have come to know that? Through the language. So language preserves the ideas, thoughts, writings for the future generations and progressive functions. Okay. So thus in conclusion, we can say that language performs manifold functions. Okay. So guys, second questions we have discussed, functions of language, first language, and second functions of language, right? So both questions we have discussed. Okay. Then we move to the unit 1. Under a unit 1, the long question has come of 16 marks. In the 16 marks, I'm just repeating because I have already told you, the long questions, you have to fill the at least 6 or 7 sheets, right? And within a half an hour. In a 30 minutes or maximum 35 minutes, 6 or 7 sheets you have to fill. And in the last, you have to write the conclusions. Okay. For the short, you can write, 3 or 4 pages, right? So unit 1 may the questions, long question has come, define language. Again, the question has come, language. Okay, you have seen that. In the compulsory section, 2 questions related with the language has come. One, simple question has come, define the language as a medium of instruction. Second has come, functions of language. Again, long question has come from the language. Define language, write its meaning, explain nature of language, how will it help you as a teacher, right? So whatever you have defined under a language, you can write under the long question also, right? Your answer, whatever you have learned of the language, right? And only the thing is, this is different. How will it help you as a teacher? Okay, how the language helps you as a teacher? Okay, so always remember, guys, language is a, it plays a very important role. Okay, it is said that it is a quotation, teacher should be a good communicator, right? If you don't have a hold over the language, you are a not good communicator. Okay, you have to being teacher, you have to grip over the language. Every day you have to learn some of the new words, right, guys? So I side by side I open my Word file. This is a long question. Okay, this is the answer of the long question. Define language, write its meaning, explain the nature of language, how will it help you as a teacher? Okay, so guys, these all I have repeated because it is asked in the compulsory questions. Okay, about the language you have to write. Nature of language, you can write language is learned, language is speech, living language, language is species uniformed, language and society, operation of language, sound and signals. This we have discussed regarding language and nature of language. Language is a system. Language is a system of systems. Language is a system of symbols. It includes all the things. It is related to culture, to society. Language is a skill subject. Okay, so 10, 11 or 12 points you can define about the nature of language. And then how will it help you as a teacher? So basically you have to focus on, you have to make a separate heading of this, how will it help you as a teacher? Okay, because once again you can see the question. I have already told you now, be at least see the question, read the question once, twice, thrice. Okay, try to understand what the examiner is asked by you. Okay, accordingly you have to define. So there are 3 things asked by the examiner. First, language, concept and meaning of language, then make the heading of nature of language, then make the heading of how will it help you as a teacher, right? So I have made solved the question for you. How will it help you as a teacher? Communicating with a student. It is a obvious because how the language helps the teacher to communicate with the students, right? Language for existence of the society. The second is as a means of connecting to the world, right? For delimiting social groups, for self-expression, right? So teacher as a communicator, right? For preservation and transmissions of ideas, for studying other disciplines. So these all 7 or 8 points you have to write under a how the language helps the teacher, right? And in conclusion, language is one of the most important characteristics, right? So you can define the conclusions at the end of every answer. Okay, guys. So we are done with our first question. The third questions, it is a views on the language diversity in the classroom. Guys, you can learn from the book, right? The guide you have. Otherwise, this answers I will send you tomorrow. Okay. Today PDF after the class I'll discuss with you. Okay. So we move to the fourth one. Explain various kinds of listening material available for teaching listening to school students. How is listening skill important in education? So here examiner has missed, one thing, here it should come, explain various kinds of listening material available for teaching. It is correct. Available for teaching listening skills आना था यहाँ पर, है ना? He has, forgotten, या, typographical mistake. So this question is that explain various kinds of listening material available for teaching listening skills to the school students. How is listening skills important in education? Okay, so first aapko you have to tell listening materials. Okay, how many types of the listening material available for teaching, right? And second, you have to talk about, you have to tell how the listening skill important in education. Okay, guys. So guys, I have solved these questions also for you. Explain various kinds of a listening material available for teaching listening to the school students. How is listening skill important in education? Okay. So this question, that, Hana, it is talking about the listening skills, material of the listening skills, and how the listening skill is important in education. So guys, first of all, at least 5-7 lines, or half of the page, you have to talk about the listening. What is the listening? You can write that listening is the ability to accurately receive and interpret messages in the communication process. Okay, active listening requires the listener to fully concentrate, understand, respond, and then remember what is being said. Active listening skills can help to build relationships, solve problems, ensure understanding, and avoid conflicts. So here you can talk about the what is the listening, Hana? What are the listening skills? Then you can make the heading of a listening material. Okay, because basically it was asked by the listening material. Okay, so 5-7 lines you can write about the listening. Then you have to make the heading of main listening materials. What are the listening materials? So guys, always remember two types of the listening materials. They are, one is authentic material and one is pedagogic material, right? One is authentic material and second is pedagogic material. Okay, so pedagogic, as the name is suggested, Hana, we have come to know that pedagogy means related to teaching and learning. Okay, right? And what is the authentic material? Authentic material, in a in a simple way, I just want to tell you, it is a live. This is called the authentic, right? Which is not scripted, right? Suppose you see the movies and others, na, they all are scripted, na, they are not the live. When you listen the live lecture, what we are doing, that I'm giving you the class live. This is the authentic material, right? Example of the authentic material. Okay, when any of the persons gives the live lecture, live seminars, live webinar, or you can remember in an easy way, unscripted material is called the authentic material. Okay, or whatever is in our pedagogic, mostly that it is a scripted, Hana? Methods, each and everything already decided beforehand, right? This is called the scripted material or pedagogic material, right? So authentic material, you can learn 2-3 lines so that you will come to know that later on you can remember. Authentic material refers to the use and teaching of text, photographs, video selections, and other teaching resources, okay, that were not specially prepared for pedagogic purposes. Okay, authentic material includes anything that is unscripted. Okay, for example, live lectures and seminars, the language you hear on radio, television, internet, language spoken outside the classroom. This is all authentic material. Okay, right? So you have to talk about the authentic material, advantages of authentic material. You can define, and then disadvantages you can define. Then you have to talk about the pedagogic material, right? Pedagogic, I have just discussed with you all the scripted material, which is in our textbook. Pedagogic material refer to the textbook and other specially developed instructional resources that have been prepared to include examples of specific grammatical item, discourse, or features. Okay. Again, further, the pedagogic material, generally called course book material, may also include simulated lectures and seminars, presentation, semi-scripted listening tasks from course book. Okay, this line is important. It should be noted that scripted text is one that is written down before the speaker speak, and an unscripted text is one that is not written down in advance, but rather transcribed afterwards. Okay, yeah, translated afterwards. That is more natural, but often harder to follow, right? So you have come to know about the types of the listening material. One is authentic material and one is pedagogic material. Okay, guys. So you have to talk about pedagogic and authentic material. Okay, and last it was asked by the importance of listening skills in educations. Okay, we see our questions again. Explain various kinds of a listening material available for teaching. We have discussed one is authentic and one is pedagogic. It is clear to us. Second, we have to give the answer of how the listening skill is important in education, right? Education means in the teaching learning process, in the classroom. So it's a general, you can write that how the listening skill is the important. Okay, so make the heading importance of the listening skills in education. Improved communication skills. Naturally, we are listening, so it automatically improves the communication skill. More time on task, increased academic understanding, right? We are listening, so definitely it increases the academic understanding. Enhanced interpersonal connections, sharpened listening skills. So under the importance of listening skills in educations, guys, you can make your points also. Even you can add these points also, right, guys? How the listening skill is helpful in education process or in the teaching learning process. Okay, so whatever the points you have to make, how the listening skill is important in the education or teaching learning process, keeping in view that you can make your own points that. Okay, no need to worry. This is a simple and this is a general question is asked by the examiner. Okay, so I think we are done our fourth one also. Okay, the last questions of this paper is discuss the need and importance of writing skills. What are the characteristics and techniques of a good writing? Okay, so read the question once, twice. Need and importance of writing skill, we come to know. Basically, we have come to know two headings we have to make. One is need and importance of writing skill. Second heading we have to make characteristics and techniques of good writing, right? And before making the two headings, we have to write little bit about the writing skills, as we have written in the listening. The question was asked by the types of the listening materials, we have written. So similarly, we move to the next word file. Okay, this is a question. Discuss the need and importance of writing skill. What are the characteristics and techniques of good writing? So guys, you can write little bit about the writing skills. Writing skills are an important part of communication. Good writing skills allow you to communicate your message with clarity and ease to a far larger audience than through face-to-face or telephone conversation. Right, guys? So writing is a form of a communications that allows students to put their feeling and ideas on paper to organize their knowledge and belief into a convincing arguments and to convey meaning through well-constructed text. So guys, related the writing skill, I just want to share one thing with you guys. When you start writing, so basically whatever the words you are written now, it becomes your active vocabulary. Do you know that? There are four aspects now: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Okay, so whatever you are reading, I'm talking about, I divide these four skills into the two part. One I divide in reading and listening, right? Second I divide in writing and speaking. Okay, so up now imagine, think yourself, once you are reading and once you are listening. Okay, so whatever you are reading and whatever you are listening, these words are coming into your subconscious mind, and these are making your passive vocabulary. Remember, these are not your active vocabulary. So you can improve your vocabulary only once you start writing. Okay, so make habit of writing 2-3 pages, 1-2 pages articles on the daily basis, right? When you write something, it becomes your active vocabulary, right? And once it becomes active vocabulary, you can speak well. Okay, right? So you can talk about the writing skills. Okay, then you have to talk about need and importance of the writing skills. So importance of writing skills, a general question, it is asked by the examiner. Use in daily life for communication purpose in the field of education, ability to explain, communicative skills, improve focus, creativity and imaginations. Need and importance of a creativity, writing skills. Getting jobs, definitely if we are a good communicator, so we have the good writing skills, now we can get a job, right? Because a lot of companies and others now, when they go for advertisements, okay, so they find a good writer. Widens knowledge base, vital to academic success, increase in the level of a confidence, record for future. These all are the need and importance. Okay, then guys, next heading you have to make, already I have told you, characteristics and techniques of a good writing. Okay, so once you have to write a good writing, once you have to learn the skills of the writing, so you explanation, relevance, it should be clarity and focus, organizations, ideas and themes, right? Language, grammar and styles, credibility or believability, thought provoking or emotionally inspiring, order, completeness. Okay, so you can learn some of the points. Okay, no worries if you learn 7 or 8 points, so these are okay. After that you can write in bullets also. Okay, in a bullets I have also written. Okay, so whatever the you think that it is a easy, you can learn it. Okay, need and importance of writing skills. Avoid the use of a this, do not use repetitive sentence, right? Instead of a passive form, always use the active voice of the verb, once you write, when you start writing. Okay, these all. Okay, so I think this question has also done. Okay, so the whole paper we have discussed, guys. Okay, and rest of the syllabus, along with this I'm giving you some of the additional notes. Okay, up to the 28 pages. Okay, you can see the number 28. Okay, I have sold the last year paper, right? And additional notes, rest of the syllabus. So I have made a additional notes of that. Linguistic principle, we have already discussed what is the linguistic. Linguistic is the scientific study of the language. This is called the linguistic. So it can ask from the linguistic principle. You can define from that way, all the principles of this. We have already discussed now, guys. So I have added. So the questions can come: role of English language, place of English language in India, development of English language. Okay, so this lecture we have already discussed. So I have added some of the notes along with this. Okay, guys. So continuously, guys, I start second paper 4th B. Okay, so I'm going to close this. This questions paper we have discussed. Okay, so I'm going to close this. So I'm going to open the 4th B paper. So this is our 4th B paper, right? Last year paper, understanding disciplines and subjects. Okay, similarly it is of 40 marks, and the time duration is 1.5 marks. Just see 1.5 mark, right? Instructions are given. Okay, you can read the instruction. attempt 3 questions in all, selecting 1 question from each unit. Question number 1 is compulsory. All questions carry equal marks. Okay, there are 3 sections, basically section unit 1, unit 2, and compulsory section. Unit 1 is a 16, and unit 2 is again 16 marks, and compulsory sections of 4 marks, 8 marks. Okay, 16 or 16, 32, 32 or 8, 40. Okay, but guys, this is a last year paper basically. Okay, in the last year you had to go from this instruction. Okay, but in this year you have come to know that you can attempt any of 3 questions of your choice. You can ignore the sections in an easy way, to understand. You can ignore the section, right? So basically 5 questions would come in front of you, right? So out of 5 questions, you have to attempt any 3. Okay, but I have advised you, do the compulsory question first. So once you do the compulsory questions, all of the 2 questions, so it is regarded as a 1, right? So 1 questions you can do from unit 1, 1 questions you can do from unit 2. Either you can do from 2 questions from the unit 1 or 2 questions from the unit 2, right guys? So first questions we discuss, just see, okay, what it was asked in the last year. It was asked under the compulsory question, how did teaching methods emerge and what is the relationship between curriculum and syllabus, right? Understanding discipline and subjects I am discussing, right guys? So I have, side by side, I open the Word file. I have solved this paper for you also. So after the lecture, I will share with you. Okay. So this is a paper 4th B, understanding discipline and subject. Okay. So first we discuss the second one. Okay. What is the relationship between curriculum and syllabus? Then we will move to the, how the teaching methods emerge. Okay. So first, many times we have discussed relationship between curriculum and syllabus. Curriculum and syllabus. Curriculum is a bigger term. Curriculum is a comprehensive term, right? Whatever the educational objectives of any of the schools, any of the organizations, always remember it is represented by the curriculum. So curriculum is a bigger one. Curriculum includes the course, co-curricular activities, right? Whatever the, days you are celebrating. For example, tomorrow is the, Independence Day. Okay. Happy Independence Day, first of all, in advance to you. Okay, guys. For example, tomorrow is a, Independence Day. It is also a part of the curriculum. Okay, whatever the days are celebrated in the school, whatever the co-curricular activities, okay, inside, outside school, these all come under the curriculum. Curriculum is a bigger part. Okay, and once you talk about the syllabus basically it is a, course of a study. You talk about the 6th class syllabus. So there is a, mention in the 6th class syllabus only. We have to talk about that particular syllabus, nothing else. Okay. Curriculum, once the teacher follow the curriculum, so basically, he come to know the aims of education completely. Right, guys? So I have made this notes for you. Okay. This is a curriculum. Curriculum means syllabus plus co-curricular activities and various parts of the educational environment. Okay. And what is the syllabus? Syllabus is basically considered as a guide, to this guide as in charge as well to the student. It helps the student to know about the subject in detail, right? Why it is a part of their course of a study, what are the expectations from students, consequences or failures. It contains general rules, policy instructions, topics covered, assignments, projects, tests, and so on. So basically, 5 or 6 things there. It includes a syllabus. But curriculum, even syllabus is a part of the curriculum, right, guys? So under the relationship, I have made a notes for the relationships. Okay, guys, so you can learn it. Okay, it is a very easy. Second, next questions in the short question was, how did teaching methods emerge? It is talking about the teaching methods. So what are the teaching methods basically? So teaching method basically it is a strategy basically. Okay, strategy. It is a techniques. with the help of, you teach to the student being teacher. This is called the teaching method. Okay. So guys, there is a lot of topics. You cannot say that you can use only a single method to explain all of the topics in the class. So guys, you should be aware of the different teaching methods, so that various subjects you can teach with the help of these methods. Okay, first of all, orally you should know the name of the methods: lecture method, demonstration method, discussion method, laboratory method, project method, problem solving method, heuristic method. There's a lot of method, storytelling method. So basically here we have to tell how these methods emerge, when these methods emerge. Okay, so here you have to talk about long back history of little bit. You have to go long back. So this is questions: how did teaching method emerge? Little bit you have to talk about method. Okay, then you have to make the heading of emergence. So you have to write under the emergence in the famous book of the Republic. It was written by the Plato. Okay, we are talking about many years back, right? We are talking about Plato's time. Okay, so Plato has given the method, Socratic method. He described the Socratic method, a form of inquiry and debate intended to stimulate critical thinking and illuminate ideas, right? And Socrates, who was a Socrates? Socrates was the teacher of Plato, right? And who was the Aristotle? Aristotle was the student of Plato. Aristotle, he studied his own school of thought. The school of thoughts in Athens. It was called as Lyceum, where he used to teach with their method, Aristotle. I'm talking about the Aristotle. Okay, so in the emergence you have to talk about what is the emergence of the method. So guys, you can see that even when we talk about the Plato, Plato has also given the many methods. Plato has given the lecture method. He has given even the rote method. It was given by the Plato. There is not specific method. Plato has said that. Okay, so we can say we are listening the method long back. So we all emergence, we have to go from where it started and little bit what was the medieval time, which methods we used, and we are talking about contemporary, nowadays, which methods we are used. So we have to write little bit about history, methods used in the history, medieval time, and nows. Okay, so here you can talk about Plato. Okay, now medieval period came. In a medieval period, you can talk about the Jean-Jacques Rousseau, right? Rousseau to abhi hua hai 400-500 years back. He was a French philosopher. Am I right now? Jean-Jacques Rousseau. He was a French philosopher. Yes. He gave the concept of naturalism. He was a father of naturalism. Jean-Jacques Rousseau. He wrote the book Emile. Yes. Presented methodology to teach children the elements of a science and other subject. Pestology. Pestology, who was a pestology? Pestology was, I think, he was a student of Jean-Jacques Rousseau, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So, but I know that pestology was a naturalist. Froebel was also a naturalist. Who was a Froebel? Froebel gave the concept of a kindergarten, guys. Nursery, LKG, MKG, UKG. These are the kindergartens. This concept was given by the Froebel. Okay, Froebel was the naturalist. Okay, during the time of a Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Kilpatrick, you can talk about, and I have written one thing, project method. Who was a Kilpatrick? Kilpatrick was a disciple of John Dewey, right? John Dewey was a pragmatist. Okay, so little bit, how much you can remember, you can write it. Okay, 2-3 names, but you under the medieval period give 2-3 names. Okay, I have learned a lot of names. Okay, you learn 2-3 names. Okay, under the medieval period, you learn 2-3 names under the emergence, long back, and now in modern day, you can write 2-3 names or the methods. Okay, John Dewey contributions. Now a Skinner behaviorism. You can you have to write. Okay, and in last you have to talk about characteristics of the teaching methods. Okay, because this is a short questions. Okay, emergence of teaching method. Okay, so both questions we have done, short questions. Okay, next the long question has come. The long question is, discuss critically the role played by the disciplinary knowledge in the selection of a school curriculum. Right, so basically the examiner is asking about the disciplinary knowledge in the selection of school curriculum. Right, so first of all, you should know about the disciplinary knowledge. So guys, here you have to remember when the word comes critically, right? So under a critically, you have to talk about advantages, disadvantages, origin of a discipline, origin of a disciplinary knowledge, how disciplinary knowledge is used in the school curriculum. Everything you can write it. Okay, so I have solved this question also for you. Discuss critically the role played by the disciplinary knowledge in the selection of a school curriculum. Okay, first you have to talk about meaning of a discipline. Okay, this discipline means, okay, discipline means knowledge of particular things. Knowledge of discipline includes the lot of strategies, lot of knowledge. Okay, discipline have a body of accumulated specialist knowledge. Discipline have a particular object of a research, such as a law, society, politics. Okay, so you have to, first of all, you have to talk about the discipline. What is discipline? Okay, so here you don't have to confuse according with the term discipline when the teacher say the student in the class now, okay, discipline yourself. This is not a that word discipline. Okay, okay, this discipline is a different. Okay, it is talking about the study, knowledge. Okay, right, it is talking about the, like for example, we call the stream humanities, arts or science, so it is talking about that. Okay, next we talk about the meaning and concept of disciplinary knowledge. Okay, so guys, what is the disciplinary knowledge? Knowledge of or relating to an academic field of study. This is called disciplinary knowledge. Right, ये देखो discipline आगे. Discipline in terms used to describe types of knowledge, expertise, skilled people, projects, communities, problem challenges, studies, inquiry, approaches, research areas that are strongly associated with the academic areas of studies. Okay, and importance of disciplinary knowledge, you have to write it, how the disciplinary knowledge is important. Then you have to talk about role of a disciplinary knowledge in the school curriculum. Okay, right, in our school curriculum, generally discipline is a sole source of a curriculum, and so the curriculum is divided into the chunks of knowledge which are called subject area, like English, science, humanities, language, social studies and others. Here discipline is a ruling doctrine of curriculum development. The school subject in fact are transformed versions of the academic discipline. Okay, so here till now we come to know that curriculum is a big word. So now we come to know that disciplinary knowledge is a big word than the curriculum word. Okay, right, so if the person has a knowledge of a disciplinary knowledge, he can make the curriculum well, he can make the curriculum effective. Right, disciplinary knowledge if he has. Always remember guys, disciplinary knowledge have its own philosophy. Okay, in the next questions we will study. Okay, so here you have to talk about role of disciplinary knowledge in the school curriculum. Right, so these all the points you have to define. Okay, okay, the next question, the second questions we are done. The next question is that state briefly the emergence of school subject and disciplines from philosophical context. Again, this same question has come from the discipline, in fact. Okay, so here it is asking about emergence of a school subject and discipline from philosophical context. Here we have to talk about from where, like emergence of methods now we just studied. So here we have to talk about emergence of discipline and school subject from the philosophical context. So under these questions, we'll come to know that the meaning of a discipline in a more deeper way. We will understand the discipline in a deeper way and clearly, right? So we go for this answer. State briefly the emergence of a school subject and disciplines from philosophical context, right? So guys, first of all, you have to talk about discipline, from where the discipline word has come, because it is asking na emergence of discipline. So here you have to start. The word discipline has come from the Latin word discipulus, which means pupil, student, and disciplinia, which means teaching, learning, and growing. In French, the word discipline means disciple. Okay. Next, read the line. In absolute sense, discipline is a branch of instruction for the transformation of knowledge and generally used for certain rules and regulations that are followed by the pupil, teacher, and administratives. Okay, you come to know that now. So discipline basically rules हैं इसके अंदर, disciplines के अंदर, regulations हैं, right? Again, Oxford Dictionaries says that the term discipline is defined by the Oxford English Dictionary as a branch of a learning or knowledge. So discipline, what is discipline? Discipline basically branch of learning. Discipline is a knowledge. In a simple sense, what is discipline? Discipline is a knowledge. Discipline is a learning, right? Domain of a knowledge. And this knowledge is characterized by different object, different concept, different principle, different theories, different skill, different tool and application. Okay, now you have come to know the meaning of discipline in more detailed way. What is discipline? Discipline is a knowledge or learning, and this knowledge includes a lot of things. What are a lot of things? It includes object, concepts, theories, principles, skills, lot of things, है ना? If you talk about science discipline, it means science includes the different object, different concept, different principle, different theories, different skills, different tools, different applications, in fact, different philosophy. When you talk about social science discipline, it means social science includes object, concept, principle, theories, skills, tools, and application. So guys, every discipline, when you talk about social science, when you talk about science, when you talk about other disciplines, these all disciplines have a different object, concept, theories, skills, tools, and applications. In fact, at the end, you can say that every discipline has its own philosophy. Got the point? Okay, then we move ahead. Discipline being a branch of a knowledge incorporates expertise, people project, communities, challenges, studies, inquiry, and research areas that are strongly associated with a given scholastic subject area or a college department. However, we can say that from all of the above, discipline is related to learning. Discipline is relating to putting some order to learn. Discipline involves some effort made to organize teaching. Discipline involves some efforts made to organize learning. Discipline is related to teaching learning process. Discipline is related to knowledge organization process. Discipline is related to processing of knowledge. It involves deductions of more knowledge through organization of existing knowledge. Right? It is related to learning process and hence education. Related to learner, teacher, expert, specialist. It is related to constructions of a new knowledge. It implies that knowledge grows and expands. It implies that knowledge is not final. It involves a process of classification. It is a body of specialized knowledge. It has theories and concept, specific terminology. it has specific object in research. It has got definite methodology of research. So here we have to talk about the discipline, because the question is asked by an examiner. Define the emergence of a discipline and school subject in context of philosophical way. Okay, then you have to talk. Here we have defined about the discipline. Now we have to make the point of emergence of a academic discipline. So in the earlier 20th or 19th century, academic discipline such as education and psychology were added. Okay, guys. So here you can define that. Now you have to make the heading, the main heading, which was asked by the examiner. It is asked by the examiner, emergence of discipline from philosophical context. है ना? Philosophical way में you have to tell what is the meaning of a discipline. So देखिए, the first line, specific philosophy. Every discipline has its own philosophy, right? So you can understand from here. For example, I have underlined for you, like science discipline, concepts are defined from scientific perspective. Every discipline, है ना? मतलब you cannot talk about in a science we can hypothesize that, है ना? In a science में there is a no hypothesization, ना? Science में तो you have to give the accurate answer, right? Because science discipline has its scientific rules, scientific theories. Okay, well, you cannot assume that in science. So when you talk about social sciences is related with the behavior. Social sciences may you can talk about about the you can hypothesize that, you can assume that in the social sciences, when you talk about the research. Okay, so identifications of a things, ontological stance. So every discipline has a different ontological stance. For example, the discipline of a philosophy defines the world from a metaphysical perspective. है ना? ये बोलती है ना philosophy. And when you talk about, when you learn the religious study, so religious study says that words from the spiritual perspective, right? And when you learn the science, science talks about the world as a materialistic reality, right? When you talk about the science discipline, so science discipline talks about the world as a materialistic reality. When you talk about the religious discipline talks about the world from a spiritual reality, spiritual perspective. When you talk about the philosophy will talk about the world, मतलब ये जो दुनिया है, philosophy talks about the world from the metaphysical point of view, right? So guys, every discipline, either it is a science, religion, philosophy, other disciplines, every discipline has its own philosophy. Means every discipline has its theories, principles, laws. So accordingly they have to tell. You have seen the student of a science. Suppose student of a science, BSc, non-medical or medical, he will talk about scientifically. You cannot understand by the philosophical point of view. Always वो अपनी ही philosophy झाड़ेगा, है ना? मतलब he will talk about the scientifically, है ना? But the person, he has studied about the philosophy, he'll talk about the philosophical way. The person has done the graduation from the religious study, he will talk about the spiritual way, है ना? So if they are educated, so they can listen to one another, right? Otherwise everyone will talk about their own way, right guys? So I'm just giving you the example to understand about the discipline. Okay, but being of a teacher, you should know each and everything. That's why many times I have said that, right? Means you should have, being teacher, you should have a deep knowledge of a teaching methodology also. Only then you can teach effectively, right? Because in front of you there is a student has a different attitude. They have the scientific attitude, they have the philosophical attitude. Okay, so you have to understand the mind of the student, and if you have the teaching methodology, you can teach well effective to the student. So philosophical point of view, you have to talk about the discipline, method of a transacting knowledge. So every discipline has different methods, है ना? epistemological stance, particular ethical ideology, right? So philosophy as a mother of all philosophies of the world. Philosophy is known as the oldest, because here we are talking about the philosophy, na? Because question is asked by the examiner, define discipline and school subject from philosophical point of view, right? So here you have to talk about this, right, guys? So next है emergence of a school subject from philosophical context, है ना? I have discussed about the discipline. Okay, this school subject you can learn from the book, from your guide, from page number 35 or 36, right? I have written. Okay, guys. So next two questions. Okay, again, explain critically the role of NCERT in developing the textbook at the national and state level. It is a very easy question. What is a NCERT? National Council Educational Research and Training. This is a full form of NCERT. This is the agencies, right? मतलब educational agencies हैं. Okay, these are responsible for the textbooks, criteria, related with the education, each and everything. So under this is a very easy questions. Okay, that's why I have not written. Okay, so I have written the page number. You can learn from the your guide also, which I have given to you. Okay, so here you have to talk about critically role of a NCERT in developing the textbooks for a schools at the national and state level. Okay, here but you just have to remember some of the agencies of educations, right? In your syllabus, one is a NCERT and one is SCERT, right? SCERT on the state level, State Council of Educational Research and Training, or NCERT, National Council of Education Research and Training. Okay, and the last question is describe briefly the paradigm shift in the nature of a science during the 21st century. So this again questions you can learn from page number 185 to 190. Okay, if you don't understand, so you can call me. Okay, so I will clear for you. Otherwise, these are the easy questions you can learn from it, right, guys? So our both questions paper I have discussed. Along with that, guys, I'm giving you the some of the additional notes. Okay, means these 5 questions we have discussed. Okay, but some of the rest of the syllabus we have also defined that. Okay, you can ask the questions from the curriculum, but most of the time the last year paper is repeating. You get 3 questions. So here curriculum nature and characteristics of a curriculum I have given. Already I have given you the notes, but I have added with this, right? Then difference between syllabus and curriculum. Okay, the last year questions came is the relationship between syllabus and curriculum. Okay, if it asks right difference between curriculum, from that way you have to write. Okay, key difference here, you can define it, right? Relationship again, I have defined it for you. Principle of curriculum constructions of a development. Okay, if this question comes, you have to define the 10 to 12 principles. Okay, then meaning, nature and types of discipline. Now you have come to know about the discipline. A lot of things, discipline. So you can define the discipline, right? Then again, role of a disciplinary knowledge in the school curriculum. We have just discussed role of a disciplinary knowledge in the school curriculum, right, guys? This one we have discussed. Okay, in the school curriculum. Okay, emergence of a teaching methods. We already discussed. Short questions came, emergence of a teaching method. Okay, here you can additional notes. Under the additional notes, you can learn the characteristics of teaching method, emergence of a teaching method. These questions we already discussed in the above pages. What are the important? This is a new one. What are the important method of teaching? These questions can ask from you. Okay, it can come. Okay, what are the important methods of teaching? Discuss the lecture method in detail. So guys, these all the you have to just give view of these all the methods. Okay, you should know. Okay, lecture, group, textbook, these are very easy methods. Okay, so just you should know little bit. You have to learn all the method. Okay, advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so he can ask either discuss all the methods, okay, comparative studies of all the methods, or he can say that what are the important method of teaching, discuss any one method in detail. Yeah, he can mention the name, lecture method in detail, project method in detail. Okay, So you can go for that. Okay. So 3 questions hai, you can do. Okay. The last is criteria for selection of textbook, magazines, and journals as source of knowledge. Right. So what is textbook? Discuss the need and importance of textbooks as a source of knowledge for student. Right. So here you have to talk about textbook. What is textbook? Need and importance of a textbook. It's a very easy. I think, Hana, no need to discuss more. What is the need and importance of a textbook? Hana, it guidance and directions to the helps in bringing uniformity, saving time and energy, helpful in framing timetable. Hana, these all need and importance of textbook. And what are the qualities, feature, and characteristics of a textbook? Hana, if this question comes, so it should be student centered, right? Complete subject matter, printing, external appearance, it should be good. Price level, it should be cost effective. Hana? These all the things you have to write under a characteristics of a good book. Okay, what criteria do you suggest for selection of a textbook? Hana? This question has come on 2019, so I have explained for you regarding related with the textbook. Okay, so okay guys, so we are done with, thank you so much, we are done with our both paper 4th A and 4th B. Okay, last year paper we have discussed 4th A and 4th B, right guys? So after the lecture I'm sending you the notes along with this video also. Okay, so I think everything has clear to you. If you have any query you can ask from me. Otherwise guys, thank you so much for this lecture. Yes. Okay guys, thank you. I'm going to stop the recording.